Welcome to this episode of Headphone Home, the show where I talk about headphones at my house, or at my home, I should say, because that's the name of the show. Um, what have we here? Well, these are the Sony Pulse 3D headphones. So basically, I don't know if you've heard about this, but there's a video game console that came out for the lucky people who managed to secure one called the PlayStation 5. And these are for that. I don't have a PlayStation 5 because I was not lucky enough to be afforded the chance, the gracious opportunity to spend money on something. But, that's fine. I'm not salty about it. You understand? I'm cinnamony about it. So there we go. These have the controls on the left ear cup instead of the right. So that's kind of the difference between them and the Surface headphones over there. There's some other differences, we'll talk about, but basically in terms of just what you got, there's rather a lot. Here is the power switch. It's an actual switch. You boop, turn it on, boop, turn it off. Here's the aux in. This is the USB-C for charging. We have a mute button here. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a little orange highlight on it, so you can kind of tell what you're doing. These are volume controls. Yeah, I mean it's labeled with text, but you can turn on the monitor. I'm not sure what that really does. And then you can change your chat and game balance. And most of these functions I don't really use. Mainly I just use the volume buttons because I use them with my my PlayStation Vita, which is the handheld PlayStation, the newest handheld PlayStation that they have created.
You would basically.
Oh,
What?
sorry, I was working on another video over there, so it started playing on its own. Once it's done exporting, it just kind of does that. But no worries. So yeah, I mean, we've got where to begin? I guess so we've got this dual headband setup. I mean, you put it on, like, oh yeah, that's pretty comfortable. It doesn't quite seal off outside noise as well as the Surface headphones. That's kind of what they were built for, so it makes sense. But in terms of like how they sound, I mean, like it's weird. I mean, like looking at the chart, the frequency response for the bass on that guy is like it's got a bump in it. Like there's a bass bump. And so really, like, the bass in songs should probably sound better on those. But there is like a benefit to these. These are a little more up and down throughout the whole graph. I mean, like the bass over here is like is actually kind of low. Like it sort of rolls up to about the middle line here. And it stays like that all the way to the trebles. I think there's a hump somewhere in the mids. The mid-level sounds. That's like, it's people singing, like guitars, that kind of thing, I guess. And then like up here in the like cymbal area, like it kind of, I think it goes up again too. But basically, so yeah, like it's less bassy than the Surface headphones, and that does kind of make the bass pop a little bit. You sort of notice it more because there's like less of that and more room for everything else in a song. So like, I don't know, one of my favorite tracks to test audio stuff with is season 2 episode 3 by Glass Animals. And yeah, I mean, it's just you can put it up. It's on YouTube. You can go find it. But basically, there's like some kind of low frequency stuff that comes in right around the chorus. And like, I just like trying to hear the definition because in some cases, like the bass is good enough, you can distinguish the specific note that the bass is making. But in other cases, depending on what audio equipment you're using, you won't even, you'll just hear like, oh, there's something low going on. Like it kind of blows you away or knocks you over. But I mean, I say all that, but I like the Surface headphones. I mean, people say that they're not as good as these guys, and really these were interesting because I put on like some TV shows through them, and like the audio separation between left and right was really good. Like you could tell exactly where in relation to the microphone, like off-screen dialogue was, or if something was, going past like if there was an ambulance going past the camera on the TV show, you would like specifically hear and feel like it was really going past you. And like sound effects that were meant to feel muffled and distant, like I could still pick out what was going on. So like that's what these are kind of built for, like the idea is you're playing a video game on your PlayStation 5 and all of a sudden you start to hear game sounds all around you, like spatially in 3D. And I couldn't quite emulate that experience, but I did get kind of close. So these came with a USB dongle, and that was how I got like my pretty good results. I basically just I can show you. It's not that far away. So yes, dongles on top of dongles, but this is what you can see. This has got a little PlayStation logo on it. And then this is so yeah, I just plugged this right into that. USB-A, USB-C. I just plug that into the phone. And actually, even the iPad, I was surprised. But I have a USB dongle for the iPad, and yeah, it worked. Just plug the dongle into the iPad, and I've got, music or whatever running. But also I can do the aux cable. I mean, it's basically, I get the feeling that when you turn the headphones on and connect them through Bluetooth, like they're doing everything under their own power, and maybe they are better optimized to give you better sound like that. I have no clue if that's actually how it works, but that's just the feeling I get. But yeah, so I mean the Pulse 3Ds, they're much more comfortable than the Surface headphones, and they have they're closed back, so they don't have like a wide sound stage, like you don't hear echoes and reverb and all that kind of stuff. But they definitely have their strengths. I mean, basically the thing I was getting to was like the bass on that Glass Animals song. Like it feels more tight and responsive on these Sonys, just because, and you can more easily make out what notes the bass is actually playing, which is kind of handy. So yeah, I don't know. Are they worth the money? They were cheaper than the Surface headphones, and by a lot of markers, I seem to be saying that they sound better, right? But really, I would only recommend them if you actually have the PlayStation 5, because that's going to be tuned to give you the very best like audio experience. There's a lot of stuff that you can do to use these as headphones in other applications. My Psychedelica of the Ashen Hawk, the game that I play on my PlayStation Vita, did sound pretty good through these. But yeah, I mean, I would just say like it's probably best for what it was made for, and there's plenty of other good headphones you can get for $100.